I see people falling into the APAC trap. Yes, oh, it's APAC, it's APAC. The money they give, it's their yeah, no, it's the Jesuits, please. Okay? And if you don't know that, then maybe this will confirm it for you. Ilhan Omar fends off challengers to win primary after APAC stays out of the race. Yeah. They didn't fund. She has gone after APAC forever. Anything she goes after, I will always be on the opposite side of, because this is a woman that is not about America. I'm not saying APAC is some angel. But Trump even just recently said they don't have the power or money behind them to be the big ones. He just said that recently. He was asked about it, and he said they don't have enough power and money behind them to be the big ones. It's the Jesuits, okay? It goes back to the Roman Catholic Church of 312, which is basically the harlot. They control everything. They created Mohammed. They created Islam. They created Arafat, who was the Palestinian leader back in the day when I was in my 20s. Sharon, Israel, okay? They want, Rome, the papacy, wants control over all the countries. They were the crusaders. That's what they still want, is war with everybody. So when you fall into the trap that it's APAC, what you're doing is you're blaming the Jews, okay, which is exactly what people like her want you to do, by the way. Because it does say in the Bible, it goes back to the whole verse, they want you to turn, because there's the innocent Jews, okay? They want to get you to violate Genesis 12, 1 through 3, that if we will curse the physical descendants of Abraham, then God will curse us. It's really simple. All of it always goes back to the Bible. Always does. So if you want to know more about this, then you can go listen to the author Eric Phelps. He wrote Vatican Assassins. You can find some of what he has to say on YouTube, or else you can buy the book. But I was seeing somebody said it was like $700. No, you can find it on Audible for $30. But there's nothing. This woman is no friend to America. Yet she has ripped on APAC left and right. So that's why I'm not saying they're an angel, but everybody keeps saying it's them, it's them, it's them. No, they're not. It's one thing to follow the money, okay, I get it, but then make sure you're following it all the way, because it's the Jesuits underneath all of it. The Jesuits sit on the Council of Foreign Relations, okay? Bush was all about serving the papacy, Bush Jr. Many of our leaders have fallen into the traps of this, into the traps of the papacy. The papacy is what wants to be worshipped. That's why the papacy wants to dictate doctrine. And of course, it is the harlot. They like to say that Israel is the place of 7 mountains. No, it's actually Rome, if you look it up on geographically. It was Presbyterians and Calvinist Baptists that wrote the Constitution, that were the biggest writers of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that absolutely believed no government and church together. Never, never, never. You don't want it. And the reason you don't want it is but that's what the papacy wants. So that's why you see our country has turned its back on God, and we have all these Catholic churches. Okay, and it's never been rooted with Christ, as I've said. That's the reason why it's a child abuse problem in it. So we have turned our back on God. Your Presbyterians back in the day, the Presbyterians that wrote most of the Constitution, and the Baptist Calvinists that were involved in the Bill of Rights, understood there had to be the separation. Because it is the Pope. It goes back to Germany. They wanted you to hate the Germans, but yet there were many Germans because of the Holocaust. but there were many Germans that were beheaded because they wouldn't go along with Hitler, but they don't ever tell you about that. The Jews that are the problem are the Masonic Jews. Those are the ones that are the problem. The Masonic Jews work for the papacy. That's who they want to worship. They goes back all the way to King Caesar. Okay, or I'm sorry, not King Caesar or King Constantine. Okay, that's what it's always been about. So, I know I see all the time, but it's the perfect trap, okay? She's been yelling about APAC for a long time. So just be aware that if you're going to fall into that trap, that's exactly the trap they want you to fall into. They're not powerful enough. They may fund these different groups, and yeah, I'm not saying they're any good, but they are an arm of the Jesuits. Make sure you understand who the true problem is. The true problem is the Jesuits, because they serve their king, their God, which is the Pagan Rome.